The squad in the freaking building, baby. Let's go. Stoked for this agency therapy. We got some fun stuff kind of planned for today, but let me take you through my day for a hot second here. Let me just take you through it, okay? Today was content day. Every Thursday we do content day here at Hydra, and let me tell you, it is a freaking blasty blast. Tyler comes over, we shoot content all day, and so we essentially got like 16 different reels shot and made, which was fantastic. We're doing agency therapy. We filmed a VSL today, and we filmed a vlog today. We did a day in the life vlog 004. So, not gonna lie, we're kind of crushing the content game right now. A little pat on the shoulder. And then, little good news, closed a little deal at the very last second today. So, we're just getting all sorts of dubs today. Feels good. So, we're jumping into it today. Man, productive day overall, like 10 out of 10. Very happy with how today went. But some things that I want to cover today. Okay, first one is talking about beating inconsistency. We'll do a quick breakdown here. Beating inconsistency. So I feel like the master of like overcoming burnout, or maybe not the master, but I'm getting pretty good at it. Okay, stay pretty consistent day after day. Give you guys some formulas on how I'm doing that. So pretty stoked about that. After that, we're going to be jumping into some of the worst branded tweets ever. Top brands putting out tweets that they never should have put out ever in their life. And then the last thing that we're going to do today, or the first part of the segment, is talking on Reddit. We're going to jump in there. I have a few questions pulled up that I found today. We're going to go in. We're going to actually answer some questions in the entrepreneurship tag. Some of them are related to agencies. So thought that would be fun to jump in there, and it'd be a fun little segment for us. And then we'll open it up to the Discord for Q&A, baby. So pretty stoked. Let me just make sure nobody's actually in the Discord real fast. Bop, bop, bop. And then we'll get going here. Okay, it's gonna be just 2 seconds. Yeah. Actually, I'll probably just end that. And then tell it on here. Okay, so let me drop this real quick. Agency therapy is live. Click the link above. All right, cool. If you guys aren't in the Discord channel and you're tuning in for the first time, yo, what's up? Stoked to have you here. But two, why aren't you in the Discord channel? you should be in the agency Discord channel. If you follow me on Instagram, you can find the Discord channel by going through my Instagram profile, and it will link you right in there. So get in the Discord channel. That way, later when we go into Q&A, you guys can freaking jump in, baby. All right, let's go ahead and freaking get rolling. So we're talking beating inconsistency. I'm gonna bring the music down just a little bit. Beating inconsistency. Okay. And this is something that I've kind of noticed across a lot of the agency owners that I work with. It's something that I struggled with for a very long time of staying consistent over a long period of time. I kind of had these phases where I would go in and out, and it kind of sucked. Like you were like kind of going through these ups and downs pretty frequently. And so I feel like I've got kind of like a good system for it now. So let me take you through it. Let me just pull up my notes on it. Burnout is one of those things that like everyone experiences it. So just first off, know like you're not alone when it comes to experiencing burnout. Everyone experiences burnout. I think, a lot of times entrepreneurs will position themselves as being like these bulletproof individuals. And we think that the people that are further along than us, that have had more success than us, will kind of position themselves as not getting burnt out, right? And will position themselves as kind of being these bulletproof humans that don't suffer through getting tired and getting burnt out in what they're currently doing and kind of losing their vision or losing their passion for what they actually do. So with that being said, like just first, like, no, you're not alone. Okay. I experience it. Some of the top entrepreneurs I know, they experience it. We talk about it all the time. So a little transparency there. Yes. Even I experience burnout from time to time. So how exactly do we avoid burnout? How exactly do we stay more consistent with our day-to-day and continue to make progress, right? And I think a lot of this comes down, this is something that I kind of learned from Taylor Welch, is that you have to manage energy, not time, right? And so oftentimes, time is kind of like the fundamental currency of high performance, but energy is the capacity to actually do the physical work, right? So time is the currency, but energy is the capacity to actually do the work. And so if your energy is bad, then chances are the time that you sink into whatever you're performing on, it's not going to be very good. So energy has to be high and has to be locked in. If you've never read the book Power of Full Engagement, would highly recommend picking that one up. Power of Full Engagement. I'll drop it in the chat for you. Power of Full Engagement. Would highly recommend picking this book up. Fantastic, 10 out of 10. So go check that out. And so essentially, like for me, like I track my energy expenditure and recovery on a daily basis. So got the Whoop band. Some of you guys might believe in stuff like this, maybe not, but I like to know when I'm recovered. I like to know how much energy I'm expending during the day, whether it's through my workouts or whatever, right? Like I want to be able to manage my energy because I know it's directly tied to the fundamental currency, which is time, right? And so when people are burned out, they often feel that they have less time and they often feel like they have less control than they actually do, right? And burnout is not a time management game. It's essentially an energy management game. So you don't need more time in the day, right? You need to refill yourself. You need to get the energy back that you lost, right? So got to get the energy back, right? Or you have to keep the energy, right? And stay consistent with the energy. So just know, like, kind of starting off with this, inconsistencies, burnout, that comes from a lack of energy, not so much a lack of time and feeling kind of overwhelmed, right? And there is a big difference. So, like, when you're like experiencing burnout of some sort, there is a big difference in two different types of like what we feel as burnout. One is boredom, and then the second one is actually burnout. So you'll experience one or the other, right? So either boredom versus burnout, one or the other. Those are the two things that you're normally going to face when you're starting to feel those inconsistencies kind of creep up, right? And so boredom, the target, whatever you're working towards, might get achieved, right? And there isn't really anything extra that you could put your energy into, right? So when we think of boredom, it's like, dude, like we've accomplished what we set out to accomplish, and now there's not anything to put your energy. If that's the case, then you have to set higher, loftier goals or projections. Okay, So when there's no pressure, like essentially like good way to think about this is like when there's no pressure, there's like kind of like nothing to live for, and so it kind of feels like burnout, but actually it's boredom. So that's a really good way to kind of think of it as you're trying to like figure out, okay, am I actually burnt out or am I just bored with what I'm doing? Right. Another good book to do with this one is Willpower Doesn't Work. Great book. Absolutely love this one. Go check that out as well. And so you have to get into environments that are going to create some pressure for yourself. Okay. So if you're feeling bored, if you're like really dig deep down, and you're like, damn, like, that's true. I'm bored with what I'm doing. Get in freaking rooms that are going to create pressure for you, or get people that are going to challenge you. Okay. Now let's chat about burnout for a second. Burnout, essentially like not enough energy, right? Not enough energy to get to the next target, if that makes sense. So not enough energy to get to that next target. Whereas in boredom is you achieve the target, but you're not ready for the next piece, right? Or you don't have anything else to work towards. So know the difference there. So here's some secrets to if you're like actually having burnout, like if your energy is like legitimately low and you're like you just don't have enough energy to get to the target that you're trying to achieve. Okay. The first one is you have to clarify your targets, right? So clarify where you're going. So crucial. So crucial to clarify those targets, projections, whatever it is that you're working towards. And oftentimes, like, we'll lose enthusiasm trying to work towards these timelines or these targets, right? And often that loss of enthusiasm is tied to clarity of the objective or the missing timeline. I'll say that again. A loss of enthusiasm is tied to clarity of the objective or missing the timeline. So there's two things you have to do there. You have to make the objective extremely clear and make sure it's actually doable and actually feasible, and there's like a clear cut path to get to where you're wanting to go. Or you have to adjust that timeline. You either need to lengthen it or you need to shorten it, right? Or shorten it, okay? Lengthen or shorten, okay? So those are the two things when you're feeling like a loss of enthusiasm, when you're starting to feel that burnout. Take a look at those two things. What's the objective, okay? Do we have clarity around how to get there? And then two, is the timeline accurate? If the timeline's not accurate, if you're putting yourself in a short timeline, which I always recommend people do it, adjust your timeline, make it a little bit longer. If you could do that, then give yourself a longer time horizon to actually go and accomplish those things. And sometimes the goals can be too large, and essentially they just need to be brought back in a little bit. Chunk them down, make them a little bit more bite size. Okay, so something to kind of think about as you are kind of setting goals and making progressions towards those goals, and you're starting to feel that burnout, or you start to feel like you're hitting that ceiling, right? So something to think about there. Okay, now some things that we could do to kind of like avoid those things is like go and celebrate some of the progress that you've already made. Chances are like you've made a ton of progress in what you're doing, and you need to just go and celebrate a little bit the success that you've had thus far. Okay. So make sure you go and celebrate those things. And we need essentially to be more obsessed with the direction of like where we're going as well. Okay. Does that make sense so far? Can I get some ones in the motherfucking chat if that's making sense? We got some new faces. Let's go. Good to see you guys. All right. So let's keep moving. Directionally, are you moving towards the main target? Okay. Be able to kind of zoom out, put things in perspective, and celebrate that progress. Because at the end of the day, like we're trying to always move towards the target, but we have to celebrate a little bit along the way. And you can't get kicked out of the game because you had a bad day, month, quarter, or even year. Celebrate the wins that you've had over the week, over the month, whatever it is, right? And essentially, like one thing that I really try to do is on Sundays, take some time, clarify your targets, clarify your direction. It's something I talk about all the time. I jump into my Miro board and I will go and I will clarify certain things about the business. So take some Sundays to clarify those objectives and the things that you're trying to work towards. Adjust your time horizon, celebrate some of that progress because chances are you've done a lot more than you already have. Daniel, what's up? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe. I know there's only a couple of us in the audience, but hey, we're jamming. We're having a good time today. So hopefully you guys get a little bit of clarity around burnout here. Okay. So Sundays, sacred days to go build on your vision. Okay. The second thing that we could do to essentially get some of our energy back, invest in your rest. Okay. Invest in your rest. Okay. What is the yield on sleep and time off when it comes to what you're actually working towards? Chances are you've just been banging for 3, 4, 5, 6 months straight, and you're freaking just tired, dude. And so take some time off, re-energize yourself. That way you can essentially have the highest return on your investment of that rest, right? And when you take time off, you become more full of energy when you become more full of energy, but you also like, I don't know if you've ever like been so tired you just become kind of like a shell of a human. It's like you're just not approachable. The team isn't vibing with you. Like I've gone through phases like this. You guys have to take some time off, okay? And then at the end of the day, if you don't take time off, if you don't take rest, if you constantly just go to battle every single week for weeks on end, one, like, props to you, but at the same time, like, you become a liability, in my opinion. Become a liability of your team because you don't bring a great attitude to the workplace. You're not bringing your very best to the workplace, okay? And you become a liability to your team because you are not bringing your best on a daily basis, okay? And the last thing that we could do here is kind of fractionalize why you're doing what you're doing, okay? We need a lot of things to get us amped up and kind of pull us into the future. So understand like what you're building towards. And we talk about this a lot. If you ever read the book, Simon Sinek's Start With Why, fantastic book. Another recommendation for you guys there. But you need things that kind of pull you into the future, get you excited, okay? And when we think about things that pull us into the future, not always business related. Sometimes they need to be small and bite-sized things, right? So example of this would be like setting up date nights with your wife, girlfriend, whatever, okay? Vacations, planning out a vacation, going out to get drinks with the boys or the girls, okay? Going to church on Sunday, going to get your workout in, okay? Get these things actually scheduled on your calendar because what it'll do is it'll help pull you into the future, okay? And these types of things will give you more value in life and be able to kind of fill your cup up in a little bit different way. It's not necessarily rest from like a sleeping standpoint, but it's rest from the monotony of the day to day. And so at the end of the day, like, you're not an asset to your team if you're just exhausted and burnt out every single day. So invest in your rest. Get some things that are going to pull you into the future a little bit, get you excited, right? One of my favorite things to do is like planning like a long weekend, like six weeks out in advance, a long weekend with the wife or something, right? We'll go to like a neighboring city. Maybe we'll go downtown, get an Airbnb, use the office apartment, whatever it might be. Okay, and that will help like pull me and pull her into the future of like this is something that we're looking forward to doing together. And so like, dude, like I'll go to battle for 6 weeks. That way it's like that's on the time horizon. I know I'm gonna get rest then. So hopefully that makes some sense. You guys vibing today? Kind of quiet in the chat right now, which is cool. It's fine. Daniel, I know you're in here. I'm curious who else is in here. There's one other person, which is totally cool. I like the small group. Keep it intimate. If you're missing out, if you're catching the replay, come to the live one next time. We do it every single week, starting at 5 p.m. all the way until 7 p.m. So come back sometime. All right. Let's keep freaking moving, baby. But that's how I deal with burnout, okay? So that's pretty much it. Hopefully that's helpful for you guys. Okay, first 15 minutes here. Little segment on burnout and utilizing your time efficiently. Okay. If you guys have more questions on that, feel free to drop them in the chat, or we could talk about them when we open up the live Discord group. But appreciate you guys listening in on that. Letting me go deep on burnout and essentially getting back to an efficient state. All right, what are we doing next? Okay, we're jumping in. New segment, trying something new today, okay? You guys have to let me know if you actually like this. I wanted to cover some of the worst branded tweets in Twitter history, okay? So some of the largest brands on the planet Earth and how they put out some of the worst tweets on the planet. And if you think about this, like, this is, hey, this is marketing, right? This is marketing for these brands. They put this stuff out because they think it's going to make them more money in the future. So I always like to go through some of these, and some of them are ridiculous. So Let me share my screen real quick. Yeet to the transition. Bop, bop, bop. All right. So, some of the worst branded tweets ever. We're kicking things off with a little J to the P Morgan. And you need a little backstory on JP Morgan on this one. Okay, it's pretty funny. But essentially, the tweet is tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, JPM. Vice Chairman Jimmy Lee takes over JP Morgan to answer your questions for 1 hour. Tweet your Q early using Ask JPM. If you guys don't know anything about JP Morgan, they're like one of the scummiest uh, uh, brands on the planet. Like they're literally awful. And this guy got absolutely roasted on some of these tweets, and they had just tweet after tweet, just people firing at them, saying how scummy JP Morgan was, and like it was absolutely wild. So if you gotta have like a scummy brand, and I don't even know what JP Morgan actually does, but this is like the perfect example of like people that probably shouldn't tweet JP Morgan. Probably not one of them because they're kind of known for being kind of a scummy brand. Okay, so that's the first one. Second one, Mac to the Donalds. Okay, this one actually cracked me up because the comments that they got back on some of this were absolutely hilarious. So meet some of the hardworking people dedicated to providing Mickey D's with quality food every day. Hashtag Mickey D's stories, and then they had a link where you could submit Mickey D's stories, and they had some of the biggest nightmare PR ever through some of these tweets, and people were able to see the nightmare stories of some of the workers and some of the people, some of the workers and some of the people that were customers inside of some of these threads, and it was awful. One of the worst PR stunts that McDonald's has ever done. They quickly took this down. I would say, I think it was like within the first 2 hours, they had hundreds of horrible stories about the Mickey D's culture and the quality of food that they were providing, and it was absolutely appalling, and was one of the worst. One of the worst. Oh shoot, hold on. Let me turn down the music a little bit. Let me turn this down just a bit. I think I'm coming in a little hot. Okay. So Mickey D's with the Mickey D's stores, not the play there. They got absolutely blasted for essentially having just the worst work environment ever, which they're kind of known for, right? They're kind of known for that. Okay. Tesco. It's sleepy time, so we're off to hit the hay. See you at 8 a.m. for more Tesco tweets. Okay. So if you guys don't know anything about Tesco, UK Tesco, I had to kind of look into this one a little bit because like, what's the big deal, right? So this tweet came out about an hour after Tesco got put on blast for some of their products having horse meat. So Tesco is a grocery chain, okay? And Tesco had horse meat in some of their products, and it was publicized that they had horse meat in some of their products. So essentially they said it's sleepy time, we're off to hit the hay. Just the worst timing possible for this company to post this tweet. So I thought it was absolutely hilarious that they posted this tweet hitting the hay. Wild. They got, and that's why I got so many retweets, right? They just got put on blast for that. So pretty funny stuff there. Kenneth Cole, I feel like a lot of people know Kenneth Cole. This one's really bad. It's kind of bad to even laugh at, but Kenneth Cole essentially tweeted, "Millions are in uproar in Cairo. Rumor is they heard about our new spring collection, now available online at," and then they have their bit.ly below, and then they sign off, Kenneth Cole. So if you guys remember, I can't remember when this was. This is quite a few years back, but Kenneth Cole actually, or I'm sorry, in Cairo, Egypt at the time, this is when like there were massive riots happening in Cairo, Egypt, and so they saw this hashtag, and essentially tried to play it off as like kind of cute or funny. Not cute or funny at all. They got major backlash from this tweet, but I mean, hey, got to shoot your shot sometimes, I guess. All right, Next one, American Red Cross, and I've got a couple tweets that will show you guys what these guys were talking about here. Okay, so Ryan found two more 4 bottle packs of Dogfish Heads Midas Touch beer. When we drink, we do it right, getting slizzard. So they had their account manager go rogue on them, and they were tweeting a bunch of nonsense. This was something that they tweeted, and so they had to do a little bit of PR patching here. They came back immediately after this. We've deleted the rogue tweet, but rest assured, the Red Cross is sober, and we've confiscated the keys. So a little lesson in just making sure that your sites are secure there. Your social media is secure. But I thought that was a pretty good one. That one came from old Hootsuite. All right, this next one. Aurora is trending. Clearly about our Kim K inspired Aurora dress. This one, probably the worst out of all of them, in my opinion. So if you guys don't remember, there was a horrible shooting in a city called Aurora. It got a bunch of hashtags on Twitter. Celeb Boutique. Oof. Big oof here. Like one of the worst ones, but they were like, this is trending. We're going to utilize it. Nope. Wasn't about their Kim K dress. It was a shooting in Aurora, Texas. Horrible timing. Like what? Like you think you would have clicked on the hashtag and say like, why is this trending? It's, don't get me wrong. I'm sure their dresses are great and all, but yeah, not the jam, guys. Come on. Let's keep moving along here. So who's not guilty about eating all the tasty treats they want? So this one, some sort of food Instagram. I don't know which one it was exactly, but essentially, if you guys remember back in the day, once again a couple of years ago, this was the not guilty trend that kind of came about, and they got some whiplash from this as well. Sorry, everyone, we weren't trying to reference the trial in our tweet. We should have checked the trending hashtag first. So essentially it was I think one of the cop shootings or something like that. They ended up shooting someone that didn't deserve to be shot, or they didn't feel deserved to be shot, and so they used this hashtag for their own use, and they're like not guilty, but they didn't know about it. So I feel like this one is okay. Like, hey, you made a little mistake, wrong timing. They used the not guilty hashtag, but it's one of those things where I'm like, probably poor timing, but at the end of the day, I feel like it was just a little ignorance more than anything, right? This DiGiorno pizza one really gets me too. The why I stayed. You had pizza. If you guys don't remember the why I stayed hashtag, so the why I stayed hashtag was like about domestic abuse and why they stayed with their family, and people would share these awful stories about why they stayed with their families or why they stayed with their abusive partner. And DiGiorno just comes in with the why I stayed. You had pizza tweet. What? Get out of here. And then immediately played some PR. A million apologies. Did not read what the hashtag was about before posting. Clearly, their social media manager, though, actually took some time, actually replied to anyone that replied to this tweet. So thought that was pretty funny. DiGiorno pizza. Not the play. Okay, let's move on. Delta. Classic one here. So congrats team USA. So this is right after the USA beat Ghana in a soccer tournament. I don't know which one. I don't pay attention to soccer, but they beat soccer. They beat Ghana in a soccer tournament, and they were congratulating them on their victory. It was 2-1, so they included this picture of the Statue of Liberty and this picture of a giraffe, apparently in Ghana. But for those of you that know your animals well and know your geography, you'll find out that there's no giraffes in Ghana at all. So they got some backlash on that one, but no giraffes in Ghana. So they got a little bit of backlash from that one. I think you guys remember this one. This one is actually pretty frequent. Back in 2021, Burger King, one of people say it's like one of the best PR stunts or one of the worst ones of all time. The classic "Women Belong in the Kitchen" tweet. They launched this campaign and got massive, massive backlash from it. So, but look at how many quote retweets, how many retweets, how many likes it has. Wild. And then, of course, they went deeper into it. So, like Women Belong Kitchen, and then there are tweets underneath it if they want to, of course. Yeah, only 20% of chefs are women. We're on a mission to change the gender ratio in the restaurant industry by empowering female employees with the opportunity to pursue a culinary career. So, once again, but like this is how you lead it off, and at 1 a.m. of all times too. But anyway, this is how you kick off the campaign. I mean, jeez, that's like you're really getting after it at this point. Like, in my opinion, like I don't know, like I don't know where I sit if like this was like one of the greatest PR plays of all time, or if this was one of the worst PRs of all time. I don't know. I don't know where I sit on it because they got a lot of attention from it. I don't know what this actually did to them as a brand, though. So I guess you leave that up to you. Let you decide. All right, moving forward. Oh no, this picture's all blurry. What happened? Well, I don't know what that one was. Something with Chase Bank, but we'll just move past that one. I thought this one was pretty good here. This one was IHOP. So this was an April Fool's joke, actually. So for 60 packing years, we've been IHOP. Now we're flipping our name to IHOP. IHOP. Find out what it could be on 6/11/18. So it's pretty funny. But like they got some funny comments back. This is stupid. I'm not saying IHOP. Not now. Not ever. So IHOP going with the rebrand for April Fools. Not didn't end up happening though. It was an April Fool's joke. They're still IHOP to this day. IHOP, not the play. Not the play. All right, couple more here, and we'll move on to the next second segment. I don't know why these ones aren't loading. That's so weird. Why aren't you loading? Dang, this next one was actually really good. I don't know why it's not rolling, but we'll move on to the Pride Month one. So American Airlines, as Pride Month kicks off today, we celebrate the power of love and all things that make us unique and bring us together. Today and every day, the American Airlines team is proud to support our LGBTQ community. What are you most prideful for this month? Okay, and then they post a little picture of their plane. Okay. This is the one that gets me right here. So some, I don't know, some representative of some sort. I don't know who this is. Pramila, Jayapal. I don't know. Is this person famous? I don't know. If they're a politician, once again, I don't really follow politics. But what a fun pride display. But what's not fun is that American Airlines donated $46,000 to Mitch McConnell's 2020 campaign while he's actively blocking the Equality Act from becoming law. So American Airlines getting put on blast there by whoever this person is. I don't know who she is, but solid tweet there. I thought it was funny, but I digress. And then the last one here, we got a little Robinhood action. Okay, if you guys don't know much about Robinhood, they're an investing platform. You can invest on their phone app, but they've kind of been known for like not being very Robinhood-esque. But essentially the tweet was, the world of finance is changing, and we're staying true to our mission. We're in this for the early morning jogger, the midday study breaker, the late night nursery rhymer, because you already invest in yourself every day. We are all investors. And then someone tweets back to them. There's a couple funny ones here. I want my money, please. I'm a poor man trying to make ends meet. Remember, the name Robin Hood means not robbing the poor like you do now. So essentially, like, Robin Hood's been kind of known for not getting people their money when they need it, right? So like you try to get your money back out and they don't let you. They don't let you, essentially. So this guy was like, hey, like, I need my money. Give it to me. And then this other one here was just someone posting a meme, how it started and how it's going. If you guys remember the old 90s Robin Hood cartoon, classic classic meme here, but yeah, once again, I feel like Robinhood kind of asking for it. And then the last guy here, I'm closing my account. This PR campaign just shows how little respect you have for us. We are legions. So pretty funny overall. Love some of these tweets. Some of the worst branded tweets that I've seen out there. I think the one that takes a cake though has to be this Burger King tweet of like how much attention that it grabbed. Pretty wild. So yeah, Robinhood is garbage. So don't invest with them if you do. I've just heard awful things. You guys should send me some of the worst brand tweets you've seen, if you've seen any. We can do another segment like this. These are kind of hard to find. I was like looking all over the place for these. I mean, they had like a couple forums, but overall, it's kind of just bleh. Trying to find some of these. So, hope you guys like that little segment there. Little worst branded tweets ever. All right, last thing we're gonna do, and then we'll get into some freaking Q&A on the Discord channel. Is we're gonna go in and answer some questions from Reddit. So I got a couple different Reddit threads pulled up here. How big is this on your guys' screen? I don't think it's very big, so I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit. So if you guys aren't familiar with Reddit at all, you can pretty much find whatever on here. Which I know you guys are in the internet marketing world. You know Reddit, right? So inside of the entrepreneur subreddit, there is feedback segments, right? And people can actually ask for feedback on whatever they want. So for entrepreneurship. So should I get a part-time job at an ice cream shop to get experience before I try and open up an ice cream shop, right? Your thoughts, okay? So a lot of people have already replied to this, but I'm just going to drop my 2 cents in as well. Don't forget your head's in the way. Oh, nice. Nice one, Oz. Let me move myself real quick. That way you guys can freaking see me. Okay, move myself down here. Boom. I'm going to put myself on the right for now. There we go. All right. Oh shit, my freaking thing stayed there. How do I move that thing? Oh shoot, that's inside of freaking Streamlabs. All right, hold on. Or Stream Elements. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Let me move that real fast. I'm actually just gonna turn it off. And I'm just gonna keep. But bam, settings. How do I just delete this thing? Layers. Is it an icon? It is. Okay, how do I just delete this thing? Oh no, those are icons up there. This one? Okay, that is it. Okay, so let me save this real quick. Sorry, guys. I think that should do it. Maybe? All right, let's go back here. See if it's there. Boom, it's gone. All right, love it. We're back and rolling. He said, group your frame. He said, no, hit the I. Sorry, bro. Yeah, I got you. Okay, cool. All right, let's move to this question. So should I get a part-time job at an ice cream shop to get experience before I try and open up an ice cream shop? So yes, absolutely. Do this exact thing. He said, you did it. You'll get the exact experience of running and operating the shop and have a much higher chance of success. Okay. And a lot of times I'd probably go a little bit more in depth in this, but I think a lot of people already gave her this answer, or him, he or she. But this is like the one thing that I always tell agency owners as well is that go get some experience from another agency, like one that's like crushing, right? Because you want to see some of the inner workings of that agency actually crushing. It kind of blows my mind that people just go like straight from like college or straight from essentially doing nothing to like starting their own their own agency. Which, don't be wrong, guys, like it's cool. You can do it that way. It's just so much harder. So I essentially dedicated the first 8 years of my life, 8 years of my life, first 8 years of my career to working for other people, other entrepreneurs, other people in the entrepreneurial space that taught me so much of how to run business, how to have success. And then, guys, like when I launched my first business a year and a half ago, like we hit a 6-figure run rate within, I don't know, like 2 weeks, 4 weeks, or 4 weeks. So I probably would have had that success if I didn't collect the knowledge that I collected so far, or if I didn't build the relationships that I built from working for other people. So, in my opinion, like, yeah, like you sacrifice a little bit early on, but you kind of save some headaches in the long run, and there's like a lot less to learn in the entrepreneur journey when you go work for people. And you don't have to do 8 years necessarily, but I mean, that's what I did. I worked for people for about 8 years, and then I started my first business. So, yes, she should do this exact thing. She'll get the exact experience of running and operating the shop and having a much higher chance of success. Okay. Learn from people that have been there and done it before. You'll save yourself some headaches. Boom. All right. Done. Easy. Easy. All right. Next. All right. This next one, I have like 2 to 5K that I want to start a business / side hustle with. Do you have any recommendations, or should I save it until I have more capital? I'm so lost on where to start and how to go about things. No money gurus, please. Okay, so essentially, like, okay, 2 to 5K, you want to start a business. Really, not probably a good chance. Probably not enough capital to deploy to start a business, in my opinion, or at least not like really solid businesses. I don't know, like start like a high end lemonade stand maybe. But I don't think there's enough capital. Capital. I think that's the capital that I need to use. Enough capital to start a new business. If you're wanting to get started with something that is low money investment, look at service based businesses. Okay. All right. What are some examples of like low cost to start businesses that are in the service? Probably not. Probably won't recommend an agency. Um, only because it takes like a very unique skill set, right? But maybe like something that they can do is other service based businesses like something like potentially like lawn mowing, right? Here, we'll do this. Look to start. Here, this is what I'll say. This way, it's not like so direct. Potentially, right? Potentially look at businesses that require little money, and you can just trade time for. So essentially, you just trade time for money. Okay. Potentially look at businesses that require little money, and you can just trade time for money. So things like trades are a great place to start. So let's give them a couple examples here. Good trades to get into, like lawn mowing. Like a lot of people own a lawnmower, but if you have 2 to 5K, you can buy lawn mowing. I don't think they can really start a car wash at this, but potentially. But I don't think there's enough money for that. But lawn mowing is really good. Landscaping. What else? Yeah, that's the other thing. Skill or asset. That's huge. Who is this person? Dropping spam in the chat. Get this person out of here. What the fuck? Report that shit. Explicit material reported. Okay. And then block this person. That's funny. let's see here. Let's just remove these messages. There we go. Okay, dope. Oz, I'm gonna add you as a moderator. That way, that shit doesn't happen. What the fuck? um, yeah. Let me add a little excerpt in there about that as well. Of you need a skill or let's go. You need a skill or an asset. So you need a skill or an asset. Okay. Potentially a business that require little money and you could trade time for money. Things like the trades are a great place to start. Lawn mowing, landscaping. Nice. Owning. I guess like I'll throw like digital service. So this could be like copywriting. You know, you could do what else can they do? They could do website building. I don't know. Just give them the old etc. here. So hopefully that's helpful for them. But essentially, a couple things that you need to like get started with, like very low dollar amount, is going to be some sort of skill or asset, like Oz had mentioned. But also I think trades are super undervalued right now. Have you ever tried to hire a plumber or like try to get a plumber to come fix your toilet? They're like booked out forever. Like if you just learned how to be a plumber or like I don't know if like what the process actually looks like to become a plumber, but I'm telling you, like plumbers make bank now. Like if you own a plumbing business, like these guys are rolling in it because there's not like nobody wants to be a plumber. No one wants to do it. So if you're looking for a good job, I honestly like that's where I would go do. So I don't know. I don't know if that's enough context for them, but welding, yeah, welding could be another one. I'll throw that in there. Welding, plumbing. Okay. And then digital services, copywriting, website building, um, uh, online. They could, essentially become a closer of some sort. I don't know, stuff like that. I'm just leaving them with this. I feel like this is good. I feel like this is better than what these guys. You could start a drop shipping business. Downvote. That sounds awful. Don't start a drop shipping business. It's a money pit if you don't know what you're doing. Okay. Okay. There we go. Boom. I'm crushing it over here. All right. Let's help out someone else. Okay. Is it a bad idea to share revenue goals and targets? Small real estate agency in Southeast Asia. We just hit a record month in revenue. 2x our previous record month, which is great, but honestly before this, we were just kind of breaking even. However, I'm not sure if it's a good idea to share that and share the numbers or not. What do you guys oh my gosh, what is it? What do you guys who have experience running a small business think? Have you done this before and what was the result? Were people asking for raises or did it motivate people and give more employee satisfaction? Our business is about 15 people strong. I would love to share the news and say, well done, everyone, and take them out for dinner or pay for some experience, but don't want people quitting. This is a real estate agency where people can easily go out and become freelance agents if they want to after learning how we do things. Here's what other people put for this one. I'll leave a little something. A little something, something. Yeah, dropshipping is expensive. All right, let's leave them a little something here. So I actually share all the data with my team, so they know exactly how much revenue we did the previous month. Like in my opinion, I'm a big fan of this, and I've heard other people's arguments, and I get where they're coming from as well. But I'm a big fan of sharing these things with them. I gotta move my face over a little bit more. My Hydra logo's covering me. All right, just move me right there for now. So, all right, let's start here. I own a digital service business similar to yours. I share all of my numbers with my team. Okay, so you're against it, Oz? Okay. I mean, that's totally fair. I always like, hey, do what you want, but when essentially my team knows when we're winning and they know when we're losing, right? And so oftentimes they have a good idea of like the cash that's in the bank and what we're utilizing that cash for. And so for me, I think it really depends on the size that you're trying to grow your team to. So I think this will depend on your goals of your goals with how big you want this team to be. Okay. And the reason that this is important to kind of take into consideration is the larger your team gets, the harder it is to get people on board with like transparency around the numbers, right? So it's hard if you have a large team, it's hard to keep everyone bought in as you're as you're just raking in money. As you're how do you spell raking? No, that's racking. Raking? Raking in more and more revenue, and they don't understand the context it's being used in. Okay. I don't ever plan on having more than 7 employees. And all of them will be in the United States full time. They won't be overseas employees at all. So, like, I probably wouldn't include overseas employees on projections. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it might leave a bad taste in their mouth. But if you have a large team, it's hard to keep everyone bought into the vision as you're raking in more and more revenue, and they don't understand the context that it's being used in. So you can't show them, hey, we did this much revenue. This is why this is good, right? Because you start to get less touch points. So in our agency, we had about 20, 25 people in our agency. As we continue to grow, it's hard to have those touch points with people a bunch, right? So they don't necessarily understand what the capital is being used for. And sometimes they get misaligned or they say, oh, like they're bringing in so much money. They're doing, we're making so much, but yet I haven't gotten a raise or I haven't gotten a pay bump in some time. So I understand that side of it as well. So if you have a large team, I'd say probably not going to share your numbers, but uh, if you are building a smaller team and keeping things boutique, boutique. How do you spell boutique? I completely butchered that. Okay, boutique. Maybe keeping things boutique. Then it can be rewarding to share this with people. It can encourage them with the team and start building a mindset around winning together and losing together. So, in my personal experience, like, so I share all of this with my team. I like transparency around it. That way, I can like clearly point out to people as well. This is why we can't give you a raise right now, right? Or this is why you know there's not actually like it looks like we're killing it. Like, yes, we have cash set aside here, but hey, like we're about to like invest a ton into paid ads. We're about to bring on a media buyer. We're about to bring on we're about to be spending $350 a day in paid media. So we need this cash right now to go invest. We're not trying to take chips off the table right now. We're trying to stack extra chips on top of it. This is going to be a vehicle so we can all get paid a lot more later. And be able to really collect the money that we truly want to collect. Because right now, like, we don't want to take chips off the table for the investment into the business, right? And so I think if there's that clarity around that, you can share this stuff with the team, but the team has to know what it's being used for. If it's the other way around and you have a very large team, you can't have those touch points. You're like, yeah, like we crushed it, like we collected 200K in revenue this month. You're gonna have a very hard time having touch points with all these people and them not saying, well, what the hell? Like, why am I still making 40K per year, right? So gotta tread that one carefully. So If you're building a smaller team and keeping things boutique, then I encourage script. So I encourage to share these metrics with the team and start building a mindset around winning together and losing together. This gets harder as you build a larger team and they lose context for where money is getting allocated. Boom. Oops. Context for where money's going. Fix that real quick. All right. Dope. Comment. Boom. Posted. Send it into the universe, into the metaverse. Boom. All right. Last question, and then we'll get into Q&A with you guys. So stick around. If not, we'll jump over to the Discord, and you guys can tune in there. Well, stay. Okay, I take that back. Stay right where you're at. Okay, don't leave the YouTube. We need that average view duration to go up just a little bit more. We're at 13 minutes right now, average view duration. I need to be like a solid 16 to 18 minutes. Man, that would just make my day. That would be prime. All right, let's get freaking started with this question here. What are your thoughts on on a Twitch streamer agency as a business? Which kind of a broad topic line, but I have an idea where I think I can turn a profit running an agency for Twitch streamers. Kind of sounds like Oz over here. It's much like the music industry, where it's essentially a hit business. I don't know what he means by that, or she. But I think even the non-hit performers will generate enough of an income to justify the investment made to each streamer starting from scratch. A lot of the services are common between streamers. You get huge economy of scale by investing into a roster instead of just one. Things like marketing, production equipment, post production, sponsorship, etc. Thoughts on the business model? I've tried searching for these kinds of companies. There are some, but it seems they are very marketing focused, less about investing into new streamers. Twitch agencies are a waste of money. Yeah, I don't even understand this concept at all, actually. Is there any comments on this? Viral Nation, Kairos Media, NeoReach, Upfluence. Let me look up, I feel like Kairos Media. Let's look up that real quick. Because I'm very curious on this model. Kairos Media. I don't understand what they do. Oz, do you know what they do? We redefine brands on social media. Really isn't the place to go. We redefine brands on social media. Our work. Or I'm sorry, no. Well, I guess we'll look at some of the work. This is a dope website. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. Okay, cool. Uh. Okay, this is less dope of a website now. These pictures are extremely grainy. I mean, it's dope how it's built, but like, what are your services? What do they do? This is this is science meets art. Okay. Creative strategy, content production, social strategy, data and insights, paid media, influencer marketing. This seems like just like a regular agency. Uh, I truly just don't understand. They got some dope brands. Okay, so okay, I understand that. I just don't understand. This is what I don't understand. Is like I just don't understand the question. I should have read this one a little bit more thoroughly before I added it in here. Thoughts on this business model? Who's this? Who's this one? Let's look up this one real quick. Oh shoot, I just accidentally did that. So essentially, it's like an influencer marketing agency. What? They just help them get more clients? Yeah, yeah. Let me get you in the Discord real quick, guys. We are on YouTube. Okay. Um, Yeah, let me get you in here real fast, Oz. Sorry. Mobby. All right, get the stage up and running. Yeah, yeet. All right, there we go. Yo, what up, dude? You're muted, by the way. Yeah, good man. All right. Yeah, give me the basic rundown because I don't understand this at all. Uh huh. Yep. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Damn. Damn. Uh huh. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay. So essentially, like, we don't think this is the move. There are. Yeah. It's a money pit for the first 4 to 6 years. 4 to 6 years. Okay. Yep. Yep. Uh, Check out Ani. And if you have good backing and good influencers, you might have a shot. There's a lot of luck involved in this model. Hope that's helpful. Dope. Okay. All right. Help these homies out. Boom. End the segment. Some Reddit questions getting answered. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. All right. Dope. All right, fam. That is it as far as that specific segment goes. So, real quick, let's open up the agency therapy Discord. The channel is now open. Stay on the freaking YouTube. All right, freaking stay there. Got to. And we'll bring over Discord. We'll get some Q&A going for you guys. Boom. Kind of show you guys the channel there. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. Thanks for tuning in. But we can open up the Discord channel now. Come hang out. Let's get the Q&A started. If you guys don't have access to the Q&A, or I'm sorry, the Discord channel, I'm going to drop the link on the in YouTube for you guys. We'll bring in people. We'll chat a little bit. If you guys have questions that need answering, this is the spot to do it. Right here, right now. What up, Alex? Good to see you, man. I don't know if you were tuning into the live stream at all, but that's where we've been for the past hour. Oh shit, we got like 7 viewers right now. You guys, come hang out in the Discord. Come ask some questions. Would love to chat. Love to hang out. We are doing Q&A. If you want to hang in the audience, that's totally cool. I'm about it. I'm about the lurking, but let's answer some Q&A. Oz, you want to kick us off today? I don't know if you have any specific questions, but normally good to get someone that knows how it rolls here first. So mhm, internally, okay, I love it. I love it. Sure. Uh huh. Yep. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Good. Good question. So a couple things here. I don't know if I'd recommend paid ads for you quite yet. You're doing a fantastic job with your organic side, kind of filling up that pipeline. A couple things that I would really lock in before you kind of move into paid is one, your ability to hire a team quickly, because as you start to scale this thing up, like paid ads is only going to add fuel to the fire, and you're going to start running into more and more fulfillment issues. So I'd really focus on doctoring up those systems and really providing the best experience for your current clients. I know that hurts to say, and I know like you're wanting to grow at a little bit faster rate, but the last thing we want to do is one, we don't want to damage reputation of the Kaizen media brand. We want to make sure we take care of everybody that comes through the door and making sure that, you're kind of in this position to win with those guys first, because right now you have 5 to 6 clients that kind of hold the keys to the kingdom for you to grow substantially. And I'm talking like, dude, like there's no reason you can't be at 6 figures by the end of the year per month if you just crush it for 6 to 10 of your first initial clients. Like people are already going to bat for you, and so I would hate to see like focus go into, because I think there's still a lot on there's still a lot on the fulfillment side and the team aspect side that still needs gaps filled before you really lay into this thing with paid ads. Because dude, like paid ads are freaking dangerous, bro. Like they could 100% sink. Well, they wouldn't necessarily sink your agency, but like you'd probably launch them, and then you probably have to shut them off. Like depending on how you ran them and depending how successful they were, you'd probably have to shut them off pretty quickly because you just couldn't handle the work, right? Of the influx. So I don't know if paid ads is necessarily right for you right now, but ideally, like when you get launched on paid ads for a service, always tell people like ideally we can spend 250 to 350 bucks a day just getting started. That's what we're doing for our consultancy. So it's a good place to start when it comes to how much spend that you should be allocating. And then as far as creative, it's like I mean, you guys run a creative studio, so which is beautiful. So you can turn out as much creative as you need to or want to, but going in with quite a few creatives right off the bat is going to be essential for you. Alex is a media buyer by trade. Maybe he wants to give his 2 cents on this as well. But I think as early as you are in this stage, I don't know if paid ads is going to be the right move for you right now because you are getting traction organically, and we want you to win for your current clients. So I think if you could play the patience game for like 3 more months, paid ads will be a very real top. Yeah, man. Exactly. So I would just, yeah, the back half of the year, man, like especially around like Q4, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all those things kind of rolling around. I think people are gonna want to have a bigger appearance, right? And it's like I know you're not necessarily like doing any ad creative for e-commerce, but people are going to be like, okay, like how can we attract more clients going into that Q4 time? Like because oftentimes after Q4, people are clients tend to drop off for some agencies, and it's kind of goes into like a slower season. And so if you can really have a great service by the end of Q3, and then going into Q4, people have more money to spend at that time. Agencies are freaking rolling in it because they got Black Friday, Cyber Monday, retainers and ad spend coming in, so they're they're able to kind of spend some of that cash, and so you might be able to capture a lot more clients during that season than say after Black Friday and Cyber Monday, after Christmas kind of dies things down. So something to kind of think about. I'm not saying don't do it, but I would probably wait until you just have a little bit more of a mature team and you have a little bit more infrastructure in place to handle the influx. Yes, 100%. Yeah. Yep. Yep. 100%, man. Yeah. What I would do is I'd lean into a couple things. I would look at one, really building up your organic presence as a company and for yourself personally. And then the second thing that I would do is potentially look at like starting a community. Whether that's a Facebook group, another Discord channel, whatever it is that you're kind of looking to do on the community side. I think community is a really big piece of owning a service based business nowadays, and I think you can help a lot of people getting that started and getting people in there and teaching them a lot about organic content. I always tell people like, I give away all like everything in these Discord calls. Like there's nothing that I keep secret. Like whether you pay for a program of mine or not, like I always just give it away freely for the most part. So um, yeah, like that's what I would do if I were in your shoes. Just like give back to the community as much as possible, and when you finally do have an ask, it will you'll freaking dominate, dude, because people will trust you and have built a ton of goodwill, and you're already collecting some of the best testimonials and case studies out there, which is incredible. Like I still have to do your testimonial, but you'll have mine. You have John sent you a testimonial. You'll have Ray from Right Hook. I mean, Fused Media. Yeah, dude. Like, so some of these guys, man, like you're really going to be able to collect some testimonials that do wonders for you. And when you can lean on those testimonials and the social proof, I like I just don't think you'll need paid ads right away. And I don't think you'll spend enough on paid ads for it to be effective quite yet. Cool. Al, do you have 2 cents to throw at that? I know you're a media buyer. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, like, dude, paid ads is a dangerous game. Like, it could really blow you up really fast. But there's also like a lot of headaches that come with it. I know a few agencies that went the paid ads route, and they had a lot of success with it. And I think with your service, Oz, like, there's not a lot of people doing this specifically for agency owners, and like you're kind of becoming like the the agency that helps digital marketing agencies create more content for their organic side. And like this is something that like I'm super stoked on it because I've been pushing this since I started the consultancy, and even while I was building my agency was to like you have to put out organic content consistently. Like organic will essentially be able to lead you into what's working on the paid side. So when you do get to that point, like you'll have some good feedback on what's actually working at the time. Oh, you can't hear anything else? Oh, my bad, guys. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I've gotta get the whatever it's called. What is it? Is it audio output capture? Let's see if that works. Oh, I'm not using Mac. I'm using PC. Sorry, fam. 2 seconds. Well, what is it? It's something inside of OBS. I can share it. Shoot. So here's an audio output right here, but it's. Well, I guess it would be audio. No, because that audio input's the microphone. We need audio output.
Turn off the settings, and then
There we go. Wait, talk real quick.
Hello.
Okay,
I'm about 30
that's it.
seconds behind you.
I got it. All right,
Yeah.
sorry about that, YouTube. You guys just missed like all of that shit. my fault. My B. Cool, man. Oz, helpful?
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, very helpful. Yeah, I love it.
You're on such a good trajectory right now. Like good brand name. You're helping a lot of people. So just keep doing what you're doing. It's just at this point, like you really just need time in the oven to develop the product, and kind of go head down in your service delivery. If you do that, man, like you'll be rocking and rolling. So cool.
Because I think that's like the big thing that you and I have been talking about has been like the unique positioning. And I think personal brand is like the angle angle for us to take.
Oh, dude.
Right,
100%.
because it makes a ton of sense for who we already serve and what most of our clients do. It's like it's a the personal brand
right
storytelling agency, and it's like if your brand or you want to build out, right? And it's also like goes with my belief and philosophy of how I think brands should be built is if you humanize your brand, you will then be able to leverage them at a much higher level. I sent you a message about that today on Instagram.
You sent me a message about it?
Yeah, about
Did I
was like
respond to it?
no, I think you just hearted it. It's like if you build a community of devout followers,
Oh,
you can
yeah.
with like even if it is a half-cooked product.
Yeah.
Because your community will follow you like to the grave, like Monster, Red Bulls, G Fuels.
Yep. This is kind of what I've always told people, and I think you need a good balance of product and community. But Ashton Shanks posted on this the other day. He posted a reel that said that talked about, I used to think results is what kept clients around, but a lot of times it's the relationship that I built with them that kept them around. The faith that we would get it figured out, because at the end of the day, like if you get someone in your agency that like a client that truly trusts you and trusts that you're going to find the solution for their brand, for for whatever service that you're delivering, if they feel that you're actually going to deliver on that promise, and they'll go through thick and thin with you. Like they'll battle through some unprofitable months because they believe in what you're doing. They believe that you're the best shot because they trust you, right? And that trust doesn't come from necessarily delivering a winning service always. If you never win, of course, like eventually they're going to leave you. But it's funny. I've talked to multiple agency owners, and this is a question that I'll sometimes ask people: is like, you ever had a client that just hasn't really won? And I can even think of like in my service, like we have agency owners that sometimes don't win, right? But they'll still stick around because they still feel like they have a high chance of winning with us versus just being by themselves, right? And they stay because of the community, right? And so at the end of the day, it's like some people like just won't take action on certain things. But I think oftentimes, like if you build that trust, they feel like they have a better chance with you than anywhere else. Other service delivery providers, they have the best chance with you. So that's something to kind of think about, man, as you're continuing to build out your own service. Is like, just like, dude, like I trust you wholeheartedly. Like if we went through a month and you're like, dude, like we only got like half the content done, like I probably wouldn't leave because I trust you, right? You're like, you're figuring things out. I know you're building. I know you're working hard. Which that hasn't happened yet. But I'm like, I wouldn't leave to go to someone else if we had a rough month, or even if we had a rough couple months. Like, we'd figure it out, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I think that's like the really good thing. I think the pod system has just been like helping us out a ton,
dude. Yes.
And we've like found our efficiency at this level. Is like it's crazy. Now I have my editors telling me like, yo, I need more work.
Yeah,
You know.
dude, it's that's the thing is like the pod structure brings rhythm, it brings consistency into the organization because everything like and something that you'll probably, I don't know if you do this currently, but eventually you'll be able to like track time of your employees, their activities that they're doing, and what they're actually spending time on. It's like doing like efficiency reports, dude. Like it'll be so gangster for you to be able to do those things because you'll know exactly when to bring on that next pod, that next teammate, in order to scale to the next level. So pretty excited for that trajectory for you. You're gonna freaking crush it.
Yeah, we already started to track time.
Love it. Yeah, dude, it's a great habit to get into. If you guys aren't tracking time in your agency, like you should be. And people always roll their eyes at this, like, oh, like what do I need to track time for? Like, how do you know if your team's being efficient? One, but two, like, how do you know if your certain clients are profitable if you're not tracking time? It's like you could be spending a ton of time on a specific client and they're not profitable, but 2 or 3 other clients are making up for that lack of profitability because they're not as needy, or they aren't they're not taking advantage of your service offering, right? So with that being said, like, you should be tracking time. If you're not doing it yet, would recommend starting. It's not micromanaging, okay? It's just understanding where each teammate's time is going so you can run the most profitable business possible. And we love profit, so.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Alex, what's up, man? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you.
Yeah, man. How you guys doing?
Dude, we're doing great. Just, been getting more consistent back into the regular rhythm with the stream and everything. So, trying to do like this combo of like, I don't know if you tuned into the YouTube at all, but trying to do the stream for the first hour, making this thing 2 hours. So first hour, we kind of just jam on some topics and have some fun on the stream, and then jump over here for Q&A at the second half of it. So.
Okay, that's what kind of, yeah, I jumped on here like 6:15, my time. and yeah, it was like quiet for an hour, and then I heard voices on my phone, and like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I didn't realize you're over on YouTube for the first hour.
Yeah, man.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so what we're doing is we expanded agency therapy a little bit. So it's 5 to 7 now. So it's an extra hour. The first hour, I'm doing a YouTube stream. So we're live on YouTube currently. And then the second hour from 6 to 7, which is like the normal time, we'll jump into the agency Discord, agency therapy Discord together, and we'll just jam on on topics, questions, all that good stuff. So you can still come ask questions and still give your 2 cents. As I always appreciate it when you come in here and drop some knowledge bombs for us.
Fair enough, man. I'll have to go back and watch the YouTube later.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a ton of fun. We kind of did some fun segments today. We did one of like some of the worst branded tweets that we've seen. We did what else did we cover? We went into Reddit and answer some questions for people. So some fun stuff. I normally bring like 2 or 3 topics. That way I can like come with a plan. Like sometimes agency therapy can be a little dead in the Discord, so want to make sure that we're providing good content all the way around for people.
Yeah, man, that's fair enough. I did have a question.
Yeah, man.
Because something that we're doing in our agency at the moment, I haven't created a brand from scratch in like 4 or 5 years, and we did that. We started doing that this year.
Let's go.
Creating a retail store here in town, and we're creating an e-commerce one. So it's been quite interesting, but I guess it'll give me some more insights into I guess what brand owners are currently doing and what's working and whatnot. We can test things on our own store and all that fun stuff. But I'm kind of curious your opinion on like percentages of owned brands, agency-owned brands versus client brands that you're working on in the agency, right? Do you do that, or do you recommend like a good split in there or something, or like what are your thoughts on?
Yeah, good question. So we've seen this model kind of pop up more and more over the past few years. So I'm out of my agency now. So we sold back in 2020 actually,
Right.
to a venture capitalist firm. So I'm no longer like actually like active in an agency. I just work with 35, 40 agencies currently, just on operations, everything from systems, fulfillment, lead generation, sales, like kind of like the full scope. So we help just build out a little bit more robust systems for these agencies. But what I've seen with some of our agencies that are doing e-com internally, do you know the guys over at Boomin by chance?
I may or may not. I'm not sure.
It's Ryan O'Connell and Colin McGuire.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
no Colin.
Yeah, so Colin, so Boomin is their agency, but they started to bring more and more brands internally to be able to control, the marketing aspects a little bit more. So everything, the creative to like the actual ad buying, like they control the full scope. So fulfillment, custom goods, like they have full control. So I do really enjoy the model. They've slowly been shifting towards more internally owned brands. It takes some time to get them up and running. Obviously, you can't just like launch brands, all the time. Like it takes some time. Like I think they launch maybe like one every year to 2 years. But right now, I think they have 3 internal brands and about eight high ticket clients. So what they started doing is they started like kind of weeding out the low ticket clients that they were working with, and then they currently work with just a few brands here and there while they're launching their own internal brands. And they wanted to kind of get out of like the traditional agency model of like, I guess, kind of like the hustle and grind, as I'm sure of having like a lot of people on the roster and having a lot of teammates to manage. So they kind of brought things back. They launched a few of their own brands, had success with it. They're like, okay, like this is going to be the model we kind of go with. We're going to do our own internal brands. And I think their main goal is to position for an acquisition, probably in the next 2 years, I believe, is kind of what their goal is. So they want to have these internal brands and then eventually sell to someone larger.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So I would say like their mixture is about 3 to 8. I don't know what that percentage is off the top of my head. So like 3 internal brands and then about eight agency clients, but they're higher ticket. And then I think Colin also does some sort of consulting on the side. Something that I've also seen in the marketplace is a lot of agencies are bringing on a consulting side of their business, especially if they're running paid ads, because it helps mitigate some of those unqualified leads, and you can essentially help brands, with the marketing side. And so I know a couple people that are just doing like group coaching calls like once a week, or like they build like an actual product of like, this is how you're going to get started on paid ads. Like we're going to help you do the setup and all of this, but we're not going to actually run the ads. We're going to teach you how to do it. And then when you're at a certain caliber and a certain ad spend, then we bring you into our system and help you run that. So one agency that's doing this really well is Weekend Digital. So Tommy Patterson, they actually just partnered with Powerhouse Brands, which is Josh Snow and Los, and they're partnering together to utilize the Powerhouse Brands to sell a product, like an informational product, educational product, that will allow them to downsell any client that is not a fit for their agency service. Because I don't know if you're familiar with Tommy's agency at all, but they charge a pretty high premium. I would say like a minimum 10K retainers to kind of kick things off with them. And if they don't qualify for that, which a majority of people don't, they'll kick them to the Powerhouse Brands. And if you've seen Tommy's ads recently on Facebook, you'll kind of notice like, if we don't beat your current agency, we're gonna pay you $10,000, which is like a crazy offer, right? Like that's gonna turn some heads in this industry, and people are gonna like want to know more about it. Well, they're turning away, I would say, probably 95% of those current clients because they're not qualified, right? They can't afford the retainer, right? So and they need some sort of downsell, otherwise they're just bleeding ad spend dollars. And so that's what they did, is they created like this educational partnership with Josh Alizecki and Los with Powerhouse Brands, because they already have a course in place. They already have, I think they do group coaching calls in there as well. And so now they have this downsell that if they're not qualified, they get moved into Powerhouse Brands. It's gangster what they're doing. So would highly recommend that as well. It's not essential, but if you're running paid ads and you want to mitigate some of that ad spend cost, then definitely a route you can go.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Because there are, like you're saying, there's people that may not necessarily be able to afford agency fees, but there's also people like I've talked to people on my calls that where they can afford it. I'm assuming they can afford it, but they like doing it themselves. They're more wanting hands-on, and they enjoy the hands-on of running ads, right?
Yeah.
So I did that. I added that into my offerings, and I got like a 3 or 4 tier product service or whatever on mine.
Yep.
And the bottom tier is just like weekly coaching or bi-weekly coaching, one-on-one calls, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So if you're not looking for full done for you service, we do a done with you service, right? Where we do the coaching call. The only aspect I don't have of that is a done. What is it? A done by yourself or do it yourself version where it's a course, right?
Yep.
Which I mean could be added in there as well, or even like you're saying the group calls or something, right?
Yep.
As a downsell. Yeah, really the whole thing with that is don't let a prospect leave without something, right?
Without paying you something. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, it's a great model, you know, it's smart. And like, if you don't have like a product built out, like the group coaching calls are really easy, right? You can kind of just take them. You could do them in like tiers, or you could do them in like cohorts, and kind of just take them through how to set things up, right?
And the other thing is too, like, you work with them, and you're moving them from a non-qualified prospect into a qualified prospect, and you've built that trust up over however many months, helping them grow their business, that by the time they're ready to be able to afford an agency, that it's a no-brainer of who they're going to hand the keys over to, basically. Right?
Yeah.
So you're moving them from like almost a unaware or aware into a ready to buy, which is the biggest problem with even just running ads is moving those people that are not familiar with or are not aware they have a problem, and educating them that they do have a problem, and then showing them a solution to the problem, right? I mean, that 95% of the market is the unaware market. So if you can capture more of that, then yeah, you're winning, right?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. Dope, man. That was actually a really great question. I appreciate that one.
Yeah, man. All right, I gotta bounce. Gotta have some dinner. Appreciate it. I'll jump on the YouTube next time.
All right, Alex. Sounds good, man. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, bud. Bye.
Peace. Let's bring Mr. Daniel up. If you guys are on YouTube currently and want to come hang out in the Discord link is currently in the chat, so come hang out. We'll answer some questions. Daniel, what's up, dude?
Hey, Josh. Doing great. Thanks. What's up with you?
Not a whole lot, man. How's the morning going?
Yeah, I'm slowly waking up here.
Yeah, it's bright. It's bright and early over there, right?
Yeah. It's sunny and bright.
Let's go, man.
Yeah. So I've been thinking a lot about hiring and expanding the team recently.
Sure.
And it's kind of challenging to expand with people that are both very experienced and also have the right work ethic. Mm-hmm. Plus they can be really expensive. So I'm thinking of going more on the road of like hiring apprentices and training them, and really like training them to a super high level.
Sure.
Now, so I guess how can you make it work? Like, how can you take them from apprentices to really high performance? Like, what kind of systems would you need to manage that?
Yeah, and I don't necessarily know if it's like systems that you need to implement into the agency. A lot of this kind of comes from like culture, right? Of like you're consistently growing, like literally like as Kaizen, right? Kaizen is essentially like the model of like we're always growing or we're always developing, right? And so that's the kind of culture that you need to put into place in a really early organization of like, we educate ourselves and we also help our teams get educated. So if you're not currently doing like legit like trainings with your team or like giving them the resources that they need to become better at their craft and like making sure like this is the culture here. Like we are a growth culture. Like that's one of our core values is growth in our consultancy. We strive for a new level of greatness, right? And we hang on very closely to that core value because, one, like, yeah, of course we want to see growth within the consultancy, but really like the big true meaning of that is internally with our team of like, yo, like, what are you reading? Okay. How are you getting better at your craft? And so we challenge each other on a weekly basis. And something that I've done a very poor job at that we're trying to get better at is actually doing like trainings with our team of like, hey, like, this is what I'm currently reading. And this is, some takeaways from it and how we can implement this into our business, right? But you need to kind of have this combination of a self-sufficient culture, but also being able to like some people just don't know how to learn well, right? And so you need to like teach them, hey, like, these are some of the resources that I'm going through that have turned me into, a great email marketer, and would recommend that you go through the same, and then have them report back to you on it, right? They're diving into a resource, say they're jumping into, Chase Diamond's email course, and, they're like, hey, like, give me some takeaways. Like, what did you learn? Let's talk about it. Like, let's have a half-hour segment once a week where, you go through one module, you bring your takeaways back to me, and we can chat about it. Because when they can bring something back to you and actually teach it to you, it's going to help solidify it, right? And so what you could do is like you literally do internal team trainings of whatever it is that they're learning and say, hey, I want you to go through this module. From this module, I want you to kind of reteach what you learned to the rest of the team. When they learn and solidify that, when they learn it and they teach it to someone else, it solidifies it in their head. They're going to be able to then go and take that information, apply it to real life scenarios, and it actually be applicable versus them just like kind of going through something in one ear and out the other.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And so basically, sorry.
I think it's a cultural thing. It's not necessarily like a systems thing. Like, you just need to build it into the culture of like, we're a growth culture. We learn consistently. We're always tackling new initiatives of trying to build ourselves as individuals, as email marketers, as marketers in general. We're going to learn about copywriting. We're going to learn more about email marketing. We're going to learn more about creative, right? We're constantly striving for this new level of excellence. And if you're not on board with that, if you're not about it, this ain't the place for you.
Got it. Makes sense. So you could do like a weekly training, like every
100.
week, some one of, cool.
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily have to be you. Like, put the team accountable to a training, and you should be doing it too, because when you one of the greatest things about me doing these streams and putting out resources and all this stuff and like shooting content, like, it's like I'm not like I wouldn't necessarily say like I'm a master at everything that I teach in business, right? But it's like, you want to solidify things in your head, try teaching it to other people, right? That's the key, is if you want to get really good at what you do, teach it to people. That's why I love consulting, is because, dude, like, I've grown so much more in this past year and a half teaching other people what I just, essentially taught myself, and that I, only utilize inside of my own business. Now I have to critically think on how this adapts to other people's agencies, and I have to be able to regurgitate information that I've picked up along the way and make sure that it's clear and concise and that they can understand it and they can go apply it into their teams. And so I've learned so much more in the last year and a half of me just like teaching other people what I know and what I'm learning, that it just solidifies in my own head, and I can now regurgitate a lot of this information a lot faster and a lot more frequently.
Yeah, 100%.
Go, man.
How would you do it? So this sounds like an ongoing thing, but how would you do it with someone who's like a total newbie, like an apprentice?
Yeah, 100%, man. Like, well, you got to start them somewhere, right? So this is something that we did very early on. Like, we had a few employees, and it kind of depends the situation. Like, we had some pretty young staff, so we took this one kid straight out of high school. He was 18 years old, and he came onto our team, and he was like, hey, like, I've been seeing a lot of what you guys are doing on social media. It seems really cool. He was working at Chick-fil-A at the time, and he's like, is there a spot for me on the team? I was like, honestly, man, like, I just don't think that you would bring value to the team, but here's what we will do. Okay. Why don't you come on for a 6-week internship? at this time he was still living with his parents. He didn't have really any expenses. So, we were able to offer him this, like, hey man, like, come on, just shadow us, learn about what we're doing. And, we'll see if you have the chops for this. And he came on board and he was gung ho about learning and about what we were doing. He learned some marketing aspects. He learned how to create content, how to edit content. And eventually he became our lead post-production specialist that kind of led the team on the post-production side of things, right? And so he became an incredible editor. And by the time he was 20 years old, he was making like 50, 60K a year as a 19-year-old straight out of high school, and had benefits, like was setting himself, like still lived with his parents, 0 expenses in his life. And he was miles ahead of where his peers were. They were like, what are you doing? Like, I'm just curious, like we see you shooting content for this team. He's like, yeah, he's like, I'm just stacking cash right now and, kind of just working. And so he decided to do that over going to college. And while all of his friends were going into debt, going to college, he was able to build a career, and now he still does it full time, and he absolutely crushes it. And now, honestly, like, he could probably go get a job somewhere else and make a significant living, right? Like, he's building skills that are going to support him forever.
Wow, so cool. So yeah, it sounds like you gotta find someone who's really enthusiastic and really like a go-getter type.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And dude, trust me, I've had plenty of interns that came in that were not enthusiastic at all. Like, they were just kind of looking for a cool experience, which is great. Don't get me wrong, but those interns didn't get jobs at the end of it, right? They got passed on by other people that wanted it just a little bit more. So you'll have people that are enthusiastic and people that won't be. That's just part of the game. And if they're not enthusiastic about the culture that you're building and a growth mindset, chances are they're just probably not a good fit for you.
Yeah, makes sense. Cool.
Make sense?
Yeah, thanks.
Sweet, dude.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions?
Not for now, no.
Cool. Awesome. Oz, got anything else for me?
I always have questions. I don't think I have any off the top of my head right now, though.
That's okay. We'll just end it a little bit early tonight. Cool. You guys, awesome. One, I appreciate you guys coming. First and foremost, I know this takes some time out of your day, but I do really appreciate you being here and taking time out of your day to kind of come and hang out and learn from me. It does mean a lot. Couple things. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting up the YouTube, give it a like, give it a comment. If it's helpful, maybe drop a little takeaway down into the comment section. And if you guys don't mind, like, share this with someone. Like, if you have other agency friends that are struggling in their journey or are just getting started or are wanting to grow and expand, bring them here. We want this to become a community. We're really starting to push more content, especially in the Discord channel as well. So if you aren't in the Discord, jump in the Discord. The link is in the chat in the YouTube studio. We're going to try and push more and more content out here, build a community. We're going to start bringing on some guests as well. And so hopefully we'll get this thing up and running just a little bit more. But hey, we're going to stay consistent. I don't care if there's 0 people here. This is going to happen most, I can't say every week because every once in a while I'll be gone, but we're going to try and do this every single week, starting at 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. the Discord will open up like it did today. So appreciate you guys. Much love. Like, subscribe, and we will see you next week. Peace.
The next one.